My name is Thomas Ray Garcia. I am the founder and executive director of CSLAP, College Scholarship Leadership Access Program.
Yeah, that's too long to remember, so I call it CSLAP, just like you did, Thomas. And so first of all, tell us about CSLAP, when it started, where it started, and why it was started.
Well, CSLAP started as a summer program at Farson Alamo ISD in 2013. At the time, I was a college freshman at Princeton and out from PSG ISD for about 6 months. I decided I wanted to come back to my community and give back in ways that I wish I would have received support when I was in high school, and that is in the college application process. I was the first in my family to go to college. I come from a low-income background, and often getting resources and one-on-one assistance on the college application process was out of my reach. It was in the reach for many of my Princeton peers. So bringing back that wealth of knowledge to the Valley started at Farson Alamo ISD for a series of summers. We hosted volunteer-led summer programs focused on the college application process, financial aid, winning scholarships, and becoming leaders. And our title stems from that. And the key word is access. It was always about opening up access to college for all students, not just those who were already on the pathway to college. That's what motivated me to turn CSLAP into a high school course. Right out of college, I started working at PSG ISD, and I transformed my curriculum into University Scholars. That was a course for 9th through 12th graders focusing on the college admissions essay, service learning, and critical thinking. We turned that curriculum into a nonprofit organization in 2019. CSLAP is now a 501c3 nonprofit, and our primary goal is to increase college enrollment rates throughout the entire Valley. One way we do that is by offering free college access classes in the form of after-school programs and summer programming opening to all students. We also contract with local school districts to teach our curriculum during the instructional day. So we might co-teach with an English or history teacher, for example. We also might go and do presentations and workshops in college go centers. We also partner with local nonprofits in order to reach more families and more students where they're at in the community. And here at this office, we often work with students and parents one-on-one on the college application process.
So in your particular case, you obviously saw the need in it because, as you say, first in your family to go to college, you didn't know how to maneuver things to get to college. You got there, but the process perhaps wasn't very streamlined, wasn't too easy. But then you find or you believe that your experience is probably being replicated up and down the valley. That there was a gap there that needed to be filled, and you needed to help lots more students streamline that process to get comfortably from school to college and understand what you have to do to get there, so that students didn't fall by the wayside.
Correct. CSLAP is informed by my personal experiences, both as a high school student and as a college student. As a high school student, it was hard for me to break the bubble of my high school and to find resources that fit me as a first-generation low-income college student. When I was in college and coming into these terms, learning what it meant to be the first in my family and coming from a low-income background at an institution like Princeton University that was predominantly white and predominantly from the top 1%, I wanted to make sure that I could give my experiences making that leap value. And one way to do that was to come back to my community and to open that for all students. So we work with students from all backgrounds. Those who come from the top 10% ranked at their local high schools often might approach us proactively and ask for further assistance on their college admissions essay or more information on connecting to our near-peer mentor network. But our main goal is to reach out to the bottom 10% of students who might not be considering college at all or who might not have received any information on applying to college. I was one of those students on the page where I wasn't supposed to go to college, and as a result, I wasn't given as much individualized time and attention in high school. Statistically, I was supposed to do something else other than college. What changed my life was Googling how to get into Princeton University and learning about their financial aid program. Now they offer free financial aid that is in grant form to students who make less than $60,000. Back then it was $40,000. So Princeton and many other private institutions like it open up the gates to students like me But having that awareness and then having that access to ensure that you're getting ready in high school in order to apply to an institution like that requires early intervention and early work. And that is the kind of work we do, whether it's students out of state, students who are thinking of transferring upstate, or students who stay locally, but they want to learn how to get ahead in their college and career readiness. We have a wealth of support in our near-peer mentors network. Hundreds of our former students are now mentors, giving back to our current students. I'm a Far Son Juan Alamo ISD graduate, so I often mentor the PSJA students who I was once in their shoes 12 years ago. All they need is that support in the form of someone who knows where they're coming from and where they want to go.
In your case, why in particular was it Princeton?
Princeton gave me the most financial aid, so I didn't pay a dime to go to Princeton, all in grants. And they also had a very robust humanities program. I knew I always wanted to be a writer, and I majored in English so I could do multiple things, from running my own small business, to writing my own books, to working in education, to later running a political campaign. So all of that took immense critical thinking, reading, writing skills that I don't think I would have gotten anywhere else other than an English major at Princeton.
And so you come back wanting to give back to your community, you approach PSJA, but pretty soon you find all these other students had the same experience as you, and they wanted to give back from different school districts in the valley that went off to different colleges. They all said to you, that's a great idea, there's a need here, I want to help.
Yes, I remember the Bobby Kennedy quote from his time in South Africa talking about, "Give me a place to stand and I will move the world." He was talking about altruism, and he was paraphrasing Archimedes, the Greek mathematician, who was literally talking about the lever. That sticks with me because of how universal that idea is, that if you build a platform for someone to stand, they finally have a place to make a difference in this world. And CSLAP, I think, gives that platform to so many young people who don't yet have their degree, they don't yet know exactly the kind of impact they want to make in the real world, but they know what they want to give back to their community, especially on the college application process that they just went through. So one way to give back is to come back through CSLAP and to connect to their alma mater and help fill in those college readiness gaps that they had just experienced.
And so what's been the reaction? You're a few years into the project now as a non-profit. What is the reaction from the students that connect with you and also the schools?
The students who approach CSLAP understand the need. The need has changed slightly over the years from awareness when I was a student, not being aware of the Princeton University financial aid, for example, to now access, which students can easily find information about college on the internet. There is a wealth of misinformation out there now, and often a lack of access to proper information and high quality mentorship, and that is where CSLAP fills in those gaps. At local schools, capacity has universally been an issue, where if a senior class has 500 students, naturally the Go Center counselor cannot reach every single student and give the same time and attention each deserves. And that is where local schools find us attractive, where we are not secondary teachers, we are not secondary counselors, we are near-peer mentors who understand how to fill in those gaps and reach all students at that school to ensure that in partnership and in equal collaboration, we can reach all students where they're at.
And who are the sorts of, you're now a successful non-profit, as we said, who are the sorts of groups or institutions, philanthropic groups that believe in you so much they want to help and they help support you financially? Who would be interested in that?
Recently, we were awarded a grant from the Raul Tigrina Foundation that enabled us to offer free after-school programming. So regardless of which campus a student came from, whether we were in partnership with that school or not, that student can come to our free after-school program and receive our classes and access to our mentor network for free.
And the Rio Grande Valley is not the only community in Texas that has this demographic profile, or indeed the rest of the country. So are you finding that in other communities similar to ours that other groups want to spring up and do something similar, or have you thought yourselves of expanding beyond the valley?
Yes, especially throughout the COVID-19 pandemic with the switch to online learning, there were many groups, both incorporated nonprofits and informal groups, that banded together to spread their social capital to young people, whether it was in the form of mentorship or in the form of scholarships. And I have seen those initiatives continue locally. Young people naturally want to give back, and what I hope CSLAP can continue to do, both in the Valley and beyond, is be that platform. Whether that person is in the Valley or outside the Valley, they know that their social capital can continue flowing to the Valley through our program.
Thomas Ray Garcia, founder of CSLAP. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Yes, for 10 years, CSLAP has been a pillar in our community, and we look forward to doing more good work in any way, shape, or form. Our main goal is to teach college access classes, no matter where they are, at a community center, at a library, in an English or a history classroom at a local campus. If individuals would like to reach out to us to partner so we can reach more students, you can contact me at Thomas Ray Garcia online, info@cslapofficial.com, that's our email, or at 956-533-6156.
Thomas, thank you so much for today's interview. It has been so informative, and we will be honoured to get the word out about this nonprofit.
Thank you so much, Steve.